Phrasal verbs are combinations of verbs with one or more prepositions or adverbs, which together form a new expression with a specific meaning that often differs from the meanings of the individual words. Here are some that you can use daily to practice your English pronunciation. Act on, meaning to take action based on some information. She acted on the advice of her lawyer. He acted on the information immediately. They acted on the tip they received. Break into, meaning to enter a building illegally or to interrupt an event. The burglars broke into the house. She broke into the conversation. He broke into the industry with his innovative ideas. Bring in, meaning to introduce or earn. The new product brought in significant revenue. She brought in an expert to solve the problem. They brought in new regulations. Call in, meaning to request the services of someone. They had to call in a plumber. She called in sick today. He called in a favor from a friend. Calm down, meaning to become or make someone less agitated. She calmed down after a few minutes. He tried to calm down the angry crowd. They need to calm down and think rationally. Carry out, meaning to perform a task. They carried out the experiment successfully. She carries out her duties with dedication. The project was carried out on time. Come about, meaning to happen or occur. The changes came about after the meeting. How did this situation come about? The opportunity came about unexpectedly. Come along, meaning to accompany or progress. He asked her to come along on the trip. The project is coming along nicely. She decided to come along for the ride. Come down, meaning to decrease or descend. The prices have come down recently. He came down with a cold. The rain came down heavily. Come off, meaning to succeed or be removed. The event came off as planned. The paint is coming off the walls. His performance came off well. Cut out, meaning to remove or stop doing something. He cut out the unhealthy foods from his diet. The engine cut out suddenly. She was cut out for the role. Draw up, meaning to prepare a document or plan. They drew up a new contract. She drew up a list of tasks. He drew up the plans for the building. Drop by, meaning to visit someone informally. She decided to drop by his office. They dropped by for a quick visit. He dropped by unannounced. End up, meaning to eventually reach a state or condition. He ended up being late. She ended up becoming a doctor. They ended up buying the house. Fall for, meaning to be deceived or to fall in love. He fell for the scam. She fell for him instantly. They fell for the joke. Get by, meaning to manage or survive. They got by with very little money. He gets by with some help from friends. She got by without any problems. Get into, meaning to become involved or interested. He got into trouble at school. She got into painting recently. They got into a heated argument. Give off, meaning to emit or release. The fire gave off a lot of smoke. She gave off a sense of calm. The lamp gives off a warm light. Go after, meaning to pursue or try to achieve something. He went after his dream job. She went after the thief. They went after the contract aggressively. Go away, meaning to leave or disappear. He told the dog to go away. The pain finally went away. They decided to go away for the weekend. Go over, meaning to review or examine. She went over the report carefully. He went over the plan again. They went over the budget in detail. Hand out, meaning to distribute something. She handed out the flyers. He handed out the exam papers. They handed out gifts at the event. Keep off, meaning to stay away from something. Please keep off the grass. He kept off the topic. They kept off the restricted area. Keep on, meaning to continue doing something. He kept on working despite the difficulties. She kept on singing. They kept on trying until they succeeded. Look back, meaning to think about the past. He looked back on his childhood fondly. She looked back at the photos. They looked back and laughed. Look down on, meaning to consider someone inferior. She looked down on people who were different. He looked down on their ideas. They looked down on those less fortunate. Look up to, meaning to admire or respect someone. He looks up to his older brother. She looks up to her mentor. They look up to their parents. Make out, meaning to see or understand something with difficulty. He could barely make out the sign. She made out the figure in the distance. They made out the details from the report. Pass out, meaning to lose consciousness. He passed out from the heat. She passed out after the long run. They passed out the leaflets at the event. Pick out, meaning to choose or select something. He picked out a new shirt. She picked out a book to read. They picked out the best apples. Put down, meaning to place something on a surface or to criticize someone. He put down the heavy box. She put down her thoughts in a journal. They put down the idea during the meeting. Put forward, meaning to suggest or propose something. He put forward a new idea. She put forward a proposal. They put forward a candidate for the position. Put together, meaning to assemble or create something. He put together a new desk. She put together a plan. They put together a team for the project. Run after, meaning to chase or pursue someone or something. He ran after the bus. She ran after her dog. They ran after the opportunity. Run away, meaning to leave or escape from a place or situation. He ran away from home. She ran away from the problem. They ran away from the danger. Set off, meaning to start a journey or trigger something. They set off on their trip early in the morning. The alarm set off as soon as he opened the door. She set off a chain of events. Settle down, meaning to become calm or established. He settled down after a busy day. She settled down in a new city. They settled down to start a family. Show around, meaning to give a tour of a place. He showed them around the city. She showed the guests around the house. They showed him around the office. Speak up, meaning to speak louder or express one's opinion. He was asked to speak up during the meeting. She spoke up for her rights. They encouraged everyone to speak up. Stand by, meaning to support someone or be ready. He stood by his friend during tough times. She stood by her decision. They stood by for further instructions. Take down, meaning to write or remove something. He took down the notes. She took down the curtains. They took down the details carefully. Talk into, meaning to persuade someone to do something. He talked her into going to the party. She talked him into buying a new car. They talked them into supporting the cause. Think over, meaning to consider something carefully. He thought over the offer. She thought over the situation. They thought over the proposal. Turn around, meaning to change direction or improve something. He turned the car around. She turned her life around. They turned the company around. Turn in, meaning to submit something or go to bed. He turned in his assignment. She turned in early last night. They turned in their reports. Wake up, meaning to stop sleeping or become aware. He wakes up at 6 a.m. every day. She woke up to the sound of birds. They woke up to the reality of the situation. Wind up, meaning to end up in a particular situation or to conclude something. He wound up in trouble. She wound up her speech with a joke. They wound up the meeting on time. Work out, meaning to exercise or solve a problem. He works out at the gym every day. She worked out the math problem. They worked out a solution. Write down, meaning to record something on paper. He wrote down the instructions. She wrote down her thoughts. They wrote down the address. Zoom in, meaning to focus closely on something, especially using a camera. He zoomed in on the subject. She zoomed in to see the details. They zoomed in on the map. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and like the video. Good luck with your learning.